Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the SCSRA Intensity Apparel Truck Series here in their season opener at the World Center for Speed, Daytona International Raceway. Looking forward to a great season opener here. 72 laps around this, or 75 laps, excuse me, around this 2.5 mile super speedway. Getting the season underway. Gonna be a great one as we see Eddie Morris up at the top of the leaderboard. It's going to be a battle here tonight from some of these drivers, as there are 5 Neon drivers in the field, and then most of the other teams just have 2 or 3 drivers kind of spread out throughout. So that's going to be the name of the game tonight. It's going to be able to get on and off pit road, be able to get hooked up with your teammates, as we see Riley Gomes and the 13 of Brett Merle out on the racetrack. Now, the Merle brothers are part-time here in the truck series. Looks like we're going to have about 16 trucks starting here tonight. As you see the Neon Boys and Brett Merle lined up on that high side. New faces and new places as well. We see a couple new drivers here. Here's the 88 of Kevin Graham, one of our rookies here tonight. Nice to see Matt Allen back in the race as racing here as well. Brett Merle has a new paint job there in that 11 Budweiser machine. Pulling down off the field. Rookies in the race tonight, as I mentioned, we'll have Kevin Graham, Trey Spears, Ryan Likens, and you'll see the other Likens here tonight. So usually there's 2 of them. There's Tim. Tim just joined, so we have both Likens here in the field as we see this little group here getting some drafting practice. As it's going to be very important tonight to work with your teammates. We got about 5 seconds before qualifying gets underway, and unique thing about qualifying here at Daytona in these trucks is typically the first lap is the fastest lap for these trucks when they get out onto the racetrack. So we'll see how that plays out here as the checkered flag flies, and we get right into qualifying. Now, season opener, we got no points to talk about here tonight. So it's going to be a fun one for sure. Let's see who our first driver is to make their way out onto the racetrack. It looks like it might be, yep, it is the 214 of Ryan Likens. Looks like a couple other drivers out on the racetrack. All rookies right now. Trey Spears out on the racetrack as well. I shouldn't say all rookies. We have Brian Merle Jr. and Brett Merle out on the racetrack as well. So not all rookies, but quite a few rookies out onto the racetrack. So these drivers hang right up on the high side. Trying to get that car warmed up, or trying to get that car wound up. Excuse, that's the word I was looking for. All the way up. I've already announced one super speedway here tonight, so it's been it was a crazy one in the Doghouse Racing League at Atlanta, and I imagine this one's going to be just as wild. So looking forward to seeing how this one plays out here tonight. As we see Ryan Likens again running that high lane. A lot of drivers you might see down on the low side on their first lap, as we found that most of the time these trucks are quicker on their first lap. As we see Brett Merle currently fastest on the racetrack. Here comes Ryan Likens across the stripe. He's going to stay currently in that second position. We see Matt Allen on his first lap here. He's using that high lane, trying to get that truck wound up the best he can. Apologize, having to set something up on my end that I did not have set up, so I do apologize for the silence. But we are getting things set up over here. As Ryan Gomes just went to the top of the leaderboard with a 52.19. See if anybody's able to better that here. Here's Joseph right on the racetrack, and his truck wound up along the high side. And Ryan Gomes currently staying at the top of the leaderboard. We see Riley Gomes making his way through turns 3 and 4. Making his way down the short chute towards the tri-oval. And Riley is going to stay currently in the 7th position. Here's Eddie Morris. New paint job. Normally used to see in this truck bright orange, but he is running an intensity machine here tonight. As he makes his way down the backstretch. That's a great looking ride right there. The Intensity Apparel machine. Down through turns 3 and 4. Across the stripe here. Let's see where Eddie goes on his second lap here. Down on the apron, trying to get everything he can. And Morris is going to jump up into the 4th position. We see Kevin Graham out on the racetrack. The 88 machine comes off of turn number 4, down the short chute towards the start-finish line. And down across the stripe. And that's going to do it for Kevin Graham. Here's Chuck Balance out on the racetrack. And Chucky's going to currently be back in the 14th position. Dave Wright just coming across the stripe. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, I see what you did there. He said, let's Gomes, G-O, all capital, and then M-E-S, as in his teammates, the Gomes brothers, Riley and Ryan. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Blaze is going to be able to make the race here tonight. So just those two together. They asked me if I could announce from the driver's seat here tonight. I told them I was not able to do that. As Dave Wright comes off of turn number 4. Down across the stripe. And Dave Wright is going to jump to the pole with a 52.18. What, 52.17 on the board here. What a flying lap for that 84 machine. One driver left to qualify. That is the 66 of Sylvain Seguin. And Cheeseburger wants everyone to know that there are still bids going for his second starting place tomorrow night in the Daytona race. So if anybody's interested in getting the second starting spot, I'd like to take that spot if I could. I know I'll be starting back in, I believe, the 8th position tomorrow night. I take that back. I'll be starting from the 5th position tomorrow night. So looking forward to a great race tomorrow night over on the SCSRA YouTube channel. You can catch that broadcast out. Sylvain comes off of turn number 4. And down to the stripe, and his first lap is going to put him. Going to keep him in that final starting spot as time is expiring. Of course, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Again, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick, we do appreciate you joining us here. I want to also thank our great partners. Of course, this is the Intensity Appearel Truck Series here in the SCSRA. Check out the link down below at Intensity Racing. Find out all about Intensity Apparel. You can find hats, t-shirts. You get anything designed if you're a small race team looking for some apparel. Check it out over at intensityracing.com. Of course, our great partner over at Butt Kicker as well for your leader in gaming haptics. Visit thebuttkicker.com. Butt Kicker is established and well-known leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading and PC console gamers, including professional sim racers. I know I love mine. Eddie Morris loves his. Everybody I know loves theirs. Joe Wright loves his as well. So check it out over at thebuttkicker.com. As we get ready to take a look at our starting grid here tonight in our season opener. And on pole tonight is the 84 of David Wright, with Ryan Gomes starting his outside in position number 2. Devin Buccino rolls off from the 3rd spot, with Brett Merle to his outside in the 11. Back in row number 3, we'll find the 8 of Eddie Morris in the Intensity Machine, and Joe Wright in the 82. Tim Lakins rolls off in the 14 machine from the 7th spot, and Kevin Graham will start to his outside in 8th. 9th is Rick Ward in the 34, with the 214 of Ryan Likes right there behind the 88 of Kevin Graham. Then Riley Gomes and Trey Spears will make up row number 6. Row 7 is Brian Merle Jr. with David Hartney to his outside. Then Charles Balance starting from the 15th position. Matt Allen in the 127, he'll roll off 16th, and Sylvain Seguin back in the 17th position. As the field makes their way around this 2.5-mile super speedway. Field settles down the backstretch. This is the calm before the storm as we cut these 17 trucks loose here at Daytona in the season opener of the Intensity Apparel Truck Series here at Daytona International Speedway, the world center of speed. So as the field makes their way through turns 3 and 4, you know that pit stops will be happening somewheres. I should say that because we do have a stage break here tonight. Should be able to make it to the stage on fuel. Stage here tonight on lap number 20 as the pace truck makes its hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. And David Wright leads them down to the green flag, which is flying in the air. We are racing here in our season opener at Daytona. Ryan Gomes getting a good shove here out in front by the 11 of Brett Merle, but Merle stalls back just a little bit as Devin Bucciano gets to the back bumper of his teammate Dave Wright. Now you've got Team Neon lined up on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dave Wright, Devin Bucciano, Joe Wright, Eddie Morris all lined up on the low side. You see the banners on the trucks. The black banners indicate series veterans. White banners will be your rookies. So if you see a white banner on a truck, those are rookies. These drivers do have a couple weeks to get those banners all straightened out. You see Joe Wright actually running a playoff banner. There is no playoff race here tonight. As Dave Wright's going to lead the first lap with the Neon team pushing themselves out to the front. And then we see Tim Likens already up a couple spots up into the 5th position. What Ryan Gomes is doing right now, he's trying to find his brother back in the 9. He needs his help. Those two are going to be working together all night long. Most of these drivers only have 2 teammates with them here tonight. Allen Sports, that's Kevin Graham and Matt Allen. They're working together. Family Tradition Racing. That's Ryan and Tim Likens. M&M Racing, that's the brothers of Brett and Brian Merle. Trackside is Riley Gomes and Ryan Gomes. Then you got the free agents, Chuck Balance, Rick Ward, and Sylvain, who are all working together here tonight, of course. And you've got those 5 drivers in Neon: David Wright, David Hartney, Devin Bucciano, Eddie Morris, and Joe Wright. Right now we see David Hartney, the other Neon driver, taking up the last spot in the field here. I think he's just trying to play it safe and be there at the end, right there on the back bumper of Matt Allen. Meanwhile, back up front, we see a battle happening for the lead as Ryan Gomes able to get something going here up on the high side with Brett Merle as they come off of turn number 4. Down the short chute towards the start-finish line. Now we get some more action up in the high line. There we go, Riley Gomes up in that 9 machine. He's got Chuck Balance in tow, and it looks like the 13 of Brian Merle Jr. I believe that looks like Ryan Likens might be jumping up to that high side as well. So that high lane starting to get formed up just a little bit more. Of course, you'll hear me talking about the energy, and right now that energy's up on the high side as they're starting to get a little bit formed up, a little bit better. The more trucks you have in line closer together, the more speed that lane's going to have, as we see that bottom lane now get much better formed up and in formation. That's why David Wright is able to pull back ahead of Ryan Gomes. A little bit of separation between the 11 and the 55. That's what's causing that high lane to kind of stall out, as we see Ryan Gomes trying to use that side draft, trying to get that wake of that truck poured onto the spoiler of that truck on the inside, trying to slow that row and bring them back to him. Right Right now, it looks like that low lane is starting to prevail as Joe right now jumps up to the high side. Tries to force it 3 wide, almost gets up into Ryan Gomes. That really just checked up that entire high lane, and I think that's really going to hurt Joe. Like for a second though, that middle lane or that high lane was going to try to push Joe into the middle and sucker hole him back. Now Joe Wright getting a big shove from that Cat 5.5 up to the front. With the 11 of Brett Merle and that Budweiser machine right there on the back bumper trying to get that high lane moving. Oh! Devin Bucciano to the inside. Hard contact with the inside wall. More drivers go spinning through the infield. David Hartney, Ryan Likens. It's like Sylvan and Matt Allen involved in that one as well. But we stay green. Trying to see if I can see exactly what happened to Devin Bucciano right here. Oh, a bad push there from the 11 gets the 55 out of shape. Sends Devin Bucciano hard. Oh, man, that is a hard hit to that inside wall. Then more happening behind when that was all happening. It looks like the back of the field kind of checked up a little bit, and Eddie Morris dove down to pit road, and there's where the Likens, Matt Allen, David Hartney, and I think Sylvan was involved in. No, Sylvan was not involved in this one. But now we're back to live pictures as the field single file. And Devin Bucciano looks like he is out of the race. He is retired from the race. So Devin Bucciano's out of the race. First one out of the race here tonight. Tough break for the driver of the 68. So see Sylvain down on the low side, just coming off the pit road. Looks like right now Sylvain's the only driver to be. Nope, I take that back. Ryan Likens is also currently 1 lap down. So him and Sylvain are. That was Likens that just got lapped. Here goes Sylvain being lapped right now. Two cars look incredibly similar, both red cars, so that's why the confusion. We are 10 laps away from the Speedway. Looks like everybody who was that backpack that was involved, everybody's kind of getting caught back up here. Of course, again, stage break's going to be helping all these drivers, especially guys like Ryan Gomes, he's got a little bit of damage. Matt Allen. David Hartney, actually looks like Hartney is, just coming off a pit of turn number 2 there right now. He's working with Matt Allen. Chaos ensues with no caution. If we stay green, our caution will probably be the first caution will be the stage break. Field making their way across the stripe here to start lap number 13. Field pretty much single file, not a lot going on. We see the second group led by Tim Likens. They are 4.7 seconds behind our 7th place driver, Chuck Balance. Chuck Balance hanging tight here in this lead pack. He told me earlier today he was hoping he'd have a good run today and have a shot here at the end. Right now he's having a great run, just kind of hanging on the back of this first pack. Able to stay in the first pack. You see just how far back the second group is they're not really staying in line. See, is Kevin Graham up on the high side, racing with the 55 of Ryan Gomes, and if they want any chance of catching that front group, they're going to want to get in line. You can see just how much ground these drivers are losing by being side by side like this. You can see that gap is increasing. How fast that gap is increasing. Now 5 seconds to the lead group, as they are running almost an entire lap, a second a lap slower than the front group. Now they're all in line, and hopefully they can get themselves in a position to try to run down this front group. But with only 6 laps to go to the stage, it's going to be a tough task ahead to run down this front group. Again, this back group just wants the race. They don't want to stay in line and catch the front group, so that gap to the front continues to grow. Now Chuck Balance pulls out a line here. Tries to get around the 9 of Riley Gomes. As Chuck Balance are going to tuck it back in line, as this lead group of 7 trucks continues to circulate the track and pull away from our second group, who again just does not want to get in line and get formed up. See in the chat, Devin Butchino not happy about a move that was made. Looks like some bad pushing led to his early retirement, and not sure who that is in YouTube, but they just said, wee! So back at the front, we've got the Wright brothers, David Wright and Joe Wright, lined up with Brett Merle right behind. And then Eddie Morris, Trey Spears, Riley Gomes, and Chuck Balance. And Trey's showed some speed here at these super speedways last week. in both the duels and the clash. They're both non-points races, but they kicked off the season, and right now he's gained a little bit of respect with these boys. And now we got Eddie Morris, Riley Gomes, and Chuck Balance forming up on the high side, trying to make a run here at the Wright brothers off of entering turn number 1. Four trucks on the bottom, 3 trucks on the top, although those top 3 trucks are definitely formed up a little bit better than the bottom 3. And that's why Eddie Morris is able to pull alongside his teammate, David Wright, and challenge him for the lead. Doesn't look like any lap traffic is going to be interfering here as we come to lap number 19. And 2 laps away from the stage. High lane starting to fall back just a little bit as the bottom lane with more trucks gets a little more organized. And you can really see the gap back to that second group now, as it is almost the entire back straightaway. So even though these boys are racing side by side like this, they are still over a second faster a lap than the second group, who just could not get formed up. Last lap of the stage, David Wright on the low side, Eddie Morris up on the high side. Eddie getting a really good shove there from the 9 of Riley Gomes as they come through turns 1 and 2. Chuck Balance now coming back to Riley's bumper here. Do they have anything on the high side for David Wright as they come down the backstretch for the final time of the stage? Joe Wright going to make a move up the racetrack here. He's going to try to win the stage. Eddie Morris up to the high side. They are 3 wide off of turn number 4. Down to the stripe. We're going to have a 3 wide battle to the finish. Brett Merle now up to the front. And Trey turns Brett right at the line, up and over into the catch fence. Caution is out. And it looks like Chuck Balance won the stage. Going to have to go back and check the results of the stage. But, man, we just saw Brett Merle up and into the catch fence. Normally for a stage break, we wouldn't have a wreckage rewind, but we are going to have one now. The Intensity Apparel wreckage rewind as we take a look to see exactly what happened there. And that was a wild, wild one coming to the line. As we see coming down to the stripe, Brett Merrill just gets turned by the 3, comes up, gets up into the outside wall, catches the outside catch fence. Eddie Morris caught up in that, Joe Wright, everybody pretty much caught up in that one. But when we bring it back and see who crossed the start-finish line first to win the stage, looks like it was, I think that was the 3 of Trey. Let's see if I can get some confirmation on the stage win there. So they are still discussing who our stage winner was. We got pit stops happening here. Let's see if we can go back and get a better view of this one to see if we can see who the stage winner actually was here. And let's see if we can, through the magic of iRacing, find a better view here of this. We're going to make the ugly screen pop up on the top there so we can get a frame-by-frame finish here as they come across the stripe. Yeah, just a little bit of, looks like Brett came up the track a little bit, just super speedway racing. Now Brett looks like, not sure how they're going to score this one as they're scoring, they're both coming across the line basically at the same time. That one's a bit too tight to call for the stage win as we see the 11 go back up and over right there at the line. So I'm not really sure who we're going to call the stage winner on this one. We're going to have to let that one go there. In the chat here, we see Skilla610 on kick says, oh, I bet there are some words said after that. From what I just heard from the race admins, yes, the ones involved in that were pretty hot with each other right there. Do you guys do the Rebels Dirt Invaders? We used to do that, yes. That was us, Heidi, on YouTube. And then Michael Lawrence says they do realize this is for the stage, right? And yeah, they knew that was for the stage. That was just for 10 bonus points in a stage win. And man, these guys were racing hard here. And personally, I am not going to call that one a stage win or not. So let's see if we can pull somebody into the booth and talk here. Let's talk with someone who is not involved with the stage at all. Let's bring in the driver of the 55, Ryan Gomes. Ryan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Josh. What's up?
Man, I'm pulling somebody in because I didn't know who won the stage, and there were some hot heads up there, so I kind of wanted to grab someone who was in the middle of the action there and might have a little bit cooler head than some of the other guys out there. Talk about the race so far. I know it's been kind of wild there. I know you got a bad bump from Brett there, got into Devin, ended his race. But what's it been like there out on the racetrack?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to find any cooler heads in here. I told Brett it ain't not at all his fault. We were getting held up there. I don't know if Joe's dragging the brake or what, but it didn't seem like he wanted to quite go by D. And then I had to check out. Brett killed me, and so not on Brett at all, but we'll see what happens here.
Well, good luck the rest of the stage here. I know it's going to be a great one to watch, and I know you're going to be working hard with your brother here up at the front. So good luck to you guys, and I hope to talk to you guys at the end.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do with two guys here. Thanks, Josh.
Hey, have a great night. So Dave Wright's going to start on the inside with Riley Gomes to the outside. Row 2 is going to be Kevin Graham and Chuck Balance. Then Brian Merle Jr. and Rick Ward back in row number 3. Trey Spears, Tim Likens in row 4. And then David Hartney and Joe Wright starting back in the back in row number 5. Now a couple drivers with some damage. We see Eddie Morris coming down on pit road. He is, the field is just making their way in the turn number 3. Eddie Morris is still on pit road. Not sure. Looks like he was taking tires there. Don't know if he's going to be able to get back around in time as the field is just making their way off of turn number 4. And Eddie Morris might be in trouble here. Might be in danger of going a lap down. As the pace truck's getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road, I'm going to put the track map up here so you can see exactly where Eddie is compared to the field as they are just taking the green flag. Eddie's going to be at a higher speed than these guys coming across the stripe as the green flag flies. But I think he's in a bit of trouble here. As David Wright leads the field down into turn number 1. Chuck Balance, a move there that got him out of shape, and Eddie Morris might be in the right spot right now, being that far off the pace. as Riley Gomes trying to take the lead off the nose of Chuck Balance, and Brian Merle Jr. right there up on the high side. Down on the low side, you've got David Wright. Ooh, Brian Merle Jr. forcing it in the middle, 3 wide. Forces Chuck Balance out of the lane. Chuck's going to have to pull back in behind Brian Merle Jr. Now that top lane's starting to form up a little bit, as there's a big gap behind the bottom 3 behind Trey Spears. Tight racing up here at the front. Dave Wright on the inside. Riley Gomes up on the high side. As Gomes barely takes the lead coming down the backstretch. Getting a big shove here from Brian Merle Jr. Chuck Balance trying to get to the back bumper of the 13 to see if he can lend a hand here. He doesn't want to push the 13, but he has to get right on that back bumper and try to make that 3-car train work. Now we see Brett Merle, Ryan Gomes up on the high side, and a little further back we see the 34 of Rick Ward trying to make his way up towards the front as well. Fortunately for Eddie Morris, you can see just how far he is behind the pack. He is just in the middle of turns 3 and 4 as the pack is coming off of turn number 2. But anything can happen. Looks like Dave Hartney in some trouble as well. Looks like he's lost the pack. Falling back. As the battle for the lead continues here. See Kevin Graham giving a huge shove to David Wright down on that low side. Field come off of turn number 2. Those trucks are a little out of shape there. They're snaking around down the backstretch. These trucks do move quite a bit in the draft. They are not super stable in the draft, and you're seeing that right now, especially on the straightaways. That's when the trucks are the least stable. You know, through the corners, there's a lot of banking, there's a lot of downforce, and the trucks are really, really stable and loaded in the corners, and that gives them a little bit more of an advantage there. As you see Trey jump up to the high side in front of Riley. He tries to make a move here. Now Joe Wright up to the high side, trying to get a push from that 3 machine. As the field makes their way off of turn number 2. I'm sorry, turn number 4 down towards the stripe. That's going to bring us to 41 laps to go. Nothing I like better than listening to these trucks at full sound, so a little thing we like to call pump up the intensity. the sights and sounds at Daytona. Now we've got Brett Merle trying to battle for the lead with David Wright. Merle brothers working up on the high side together. Then you got Trey, who's about a truck length back, not able to really help out that top line, but him and Chuck Balance are coming with some help. We see that's the 14 of Tim Likens up on the high side, and Sylvain up there as well, trying to get something rolling up on the high side. So let's put that track map up here in a second, kind of see where Eddie Morris and Dave Hartney are running this track. Oh, that Dev's logo is kind of in the way right now. That'll go away in just a second. And yeah, you can see Eddie Morris. I think Dave Hartney is working there with Eddie Morris. Yeah, those two are working together, but they are not too far ahead of the pack, who is coming in a hurry. And those two quickly in danger of going a lap down. Ryan Likens is in this mix here. He is currently being scored 1 lap down, along with the 11 of Brett Merle. So Brett out in front as he is actually technically now on the lead lap. So he's trying to get his lap back the hard way. If the caution was to come out right now, he'd be able to go all the way back around, but currently being scored as the last car on the lead lap, being out in front of the leaders as he is. Now Brian Merle Jr. working that high side. He tells me he wants to kind of block that high lane to kind of keep Brett up there in case the caution was to come out. We put Brett on the lead lap. Not having to worry about that. But that would also put Eddie Morris on the lead lap as well if the caution was to come out right now. So as they run right now, Ryan Likens would be the lucky dog. Actually, I take that back. Brett Merle is currently just 1 lap down now. He was 2 laps down, now being out in front leading as he is. He is the battling with Ryan Likens for the lucky dog, so he's still being shown as 1 lap down. Of course, we're going to have pit stops yet again. These drivers can only go, like I said, probably about 35 laps on fuel. They were all down on pit road around lap 22. So I imagine we would see trucks coming down pit road around lap 45 to 55. They can make it further, but at the same time, they kind of want to come and get fuel as quickly as possible. One strategy that drivers run here at the super speedways is to pit as early as possible with your teammates or with a bunch of trucks, get lined up and just pull away from the field. Because the more trucks you can have lined up in a row safely, the faster that group is going to go. 5 trucks lined up in a line will run a lot faster than 12 trucks side by side. So I think that's what we might see some drivers like the Neon Boys might be doing here, trying to get down and off of pit road as quickly as possible. We see David Hartney and Eddie Morris jump up to the top of the racetrack. They will be going 1 lap down. And they will be racing with Ryan Likens for the lucky dog position. Though the 11 is out front leading the race, he is technically behind the 43, the 8, and the 214 just because he was being scored 2 laps down prior to that. As we see a lot of movement here in the middle of the track. Chuck Balance in that middle lane. Ooh, Dave Hartney getting squirrely there. Almost lost it there. The outside of Sylvain. But they were able to survive as Dave Wright continues to lead the race. What this also does for Dave Wright, having Brett out in front of him like this, he is burning a lot less fuel than both Brian Merle Jr. and Brett Merle are burning here in front right now. So this is actually an advantage a bit for the 84 of David Wright. Field continues to circulate the track. We have, next time by, we'll have just 30 laps to go. David Wright got the win last week in the clash here in the trucks, trying to sweep the season openers here at Daytona in the truck series. And right now he's in a good position to do that, and I wish I had Devin Butchino, the statistician, here to tell me if anybody in the SCSRA history has ever swept both the clash and the duel. Sure, he heard me and he's crunching the numbers right now. Right now, David Wright seems to be content riding behind Brett Merle, trying to save as much fuel as he can to have the shortest pit stop. And I have confirmed that no driver has ever won both the Clash and the first race of the season, the opener. So this could be an SCSRA first if David Wright is able to get it done here tonight. Oh, Chuck Balance in the wall. Silva Seguin, oh, wreck behind. Ryan Likens, Silva Seguin through the grass. Again, no caution. We stay green. That is not what Brett Merle and Eddie Morris and David Hartney wanted to see. Actually, I think looks like they were able to avoid it. Bring it back to a replay here, see if we can see exactly what happened. It looks like Chuck Balance just kind of caught the wall, bounced off the wall a couple times, caught Sylvain. They go down, Sylvain goes down, hits Ryan Likens. Chuck Balance able to continue on, but these two trucks make hard contact with the inside wall, similar to what we saw with Devin Butchino earlier tonight, and that has really separated the field here. So Chuck Balance making his way down on the pit road. Looks like he's going to take his reset here as he tries to find his pit stall. Field making their way down into turn at number 3. Chuck is going to lose at least a lap here being stationary on pit road as long as he has. That Chuck is down and away. He's going to have to stay down on the apron. You see the field coming. They are coming quickly. He's going to wait all the way until the backstretch to get onto the racetrack. You see there goes the field by at full speed. So a tough break for Chuck Balance, who fortunately for him only lost one lap. He was able to get on and off pit road and stay with the pack, really. He should be able to stay. Oh, looks like maybe he did lose the draft a little bit. Yeah, he's already lost the draft, so I take that back. So tough break for Chuck Balance, who said before the race he had a good feel about this one. He thought he had a good shot at it. So although it's never over till it's over, so we'll keep seeing what is in store for the rest of this race. As we have 25 laps to go. Again, everybody's got to come down pit road one more time. See David Hartney and Eddie Morris up on that high side, trying to do the same thing that Brett Merle was doing earlier, as he's going to move up to the high side. They're going to get themselves back onto the lead lap. So now, David Hartney, Eddie Morris being scored on the lead lap, just at the very tail end of the field. Brett Merle, one lap down, although Chuck Balance is currently your lucky dog. As I have been informed, pit stops should be anytime soon, and here goes your first drivers down on the pit road. Brett Merle, Brian Merle Jr., and Matt Allen all down on the pit road. And I was a bit wrong there. Pit's fuel run is 23 to 26 laps. See Dean Gear and Alan St. John joining the chat there. Good to see you guys in the chat. Welcome. And yeah, you're picking up the action just as green flag pit stops are getting underway here at the season opener at Daytona. And here comes Neon Boys. Here comes the rest of the field. Everybody coming down pit road this time. And David Hartney lost it coming down the pit road. This is going to be a mess coming down into their pit stops. Ooh, oh, Joe Wright gets turned at the last second. We saw that was Kevin Graham trying to get into his pit stall. Tagged the 82 of Joe Wright, spun him around. That is going to end Joe's day pretty well. No, Joe was able to get back on and off of pit road pretty quickly. So it doesn't look like it hurt Joe too much. Riley Gomes nailed his pit stop. He is way out in front of Trey Spears and Joseph Wright. And that is, normally you want to be out in front as far as you can, except when you're running on a super speedway like this. And right now we are seeing exactly that. We will probably see that 9 truck get eaten up pretty quickly by the rest of the field. Joe Wright coming back down on pit road. Looks like he might have had a penalty. I don't know if it was too fast on pit road. See if it's a pass through or a stop and go for the 82. Looks like it's going to be a stop and go. So Team Neon having trouble here tonight, minus the 84 of David Wright. Eddie Moore is still hanging on here on the tail end of the lead lap. With 20 laps to go, Eddie is really just hoping for a caution to come out. And hoping not to be the caution. See if he can get himself a position, get himself back into this competition. Joseph Wright, one of the Neon drivers, having some issues here tonight. Just had to come down pit road for a stop and go penalty, and unless the caution comes out, his chances are all but done. David Hartney went a lap down, caught up in early spin. So you see him, has the field coming to him quickly. He's in quite a bit of trouble here as well. Devin Butchino involved in a lap 6 incident that sent him to the garage. As we see the field coming up on David Hartney. Hartney's going to move up to the high side and let the field go right on by with just 10 laps to go. Can D. Wright be the first driver in SCSRA history to sweep both the Clash and the opener? Or could we see a rookie win the opener here tonight in Trey Spears? Can we see someone like Riley Gomes and Ryan Gomes team up here to get themselves a win and lock themselves into the playoffs? That's right, a win here tonight will lock yourself into the playoffs. Guys, I was just notified that there was a little bit of a lag there, and I do apologize for that. I'm not really sure what happened right there. Could be a connection issue on my end. Here we go. Dave Wright still holding on to the lead. As we have $17 laps to go. I don't know why I said 10 laps to go before. That's what my ticker down on my stream deck was saying. But it looks like we have 17 laps to go. Again, sorry for that little bit of a lag a few minutes ago. Looks like it has cleared itself up. Yes, Joe Wright is now currently going a lap down. I apologize if you're seeing some lag there, some skipped frames. Not really sure what's going on. I do see it popping up on my screen, and I do apologize for it. But we are coming to 15 laps to go here. I am taking a look to see if there's something running on my side that is causing that. Who's going to try to get in line here and try to challenge David Wright? Are we going to see Trey Spears try to get something going here? Are we going to see the Gomes brothers lining up to get something going? Ryan Merle Jr. and Brett Merle lined up here. They are 4 seconds behind the field, but they are gaining. Take a look at the delta here. See that interval is 4.7 seconds. And closing quickly. Requirements for the league there. We see Violet Gaming saying they're looking for information on the league. If you have iRacing and you are under a 3,000 I rating, you can join the SCSRA. You can find them on Facebook, SCSRA. You can also find them on their YouTube channel, also SCSRA. And if you have any questions about the league that just started, this is the first race of the season. You can join in there, and they can get you all the information on setting you up. You see David Hartney and Joe Wright working up on that high side. They are trying to work together here. So Team Neon, even though they are laps down, and only one of the drivers is technically on the lead lap, or in the lead here, they are being a force here, and they are a force that could help D. Wright solidify his win here tonight. As this reminds me of the movie Convoy. They have D. Wright kind of just blocked in here. Chuck Balance down and out of the way. See Matt Allen, just brushes the wall there up on the high side. Everybody able to get through cleanly. As we are quickly coming to 10 laps to go. Ryan Gomes now to the high side, trying to take the lead away from David Wright, pushing on those Neon boys of David Hartney and Joe Wright. Ooh, Hartney almost got out of shape there with a push there from Joe Wright. Again, I apologize for the little bit of lag and skipping we were having a moment ago. Looks like it's starting to clean up on my end. As we have 9 laps to go. David Wright out in front of Trey Spears. Though the Gomes brothers starting to get lined up on that high side. Coming to 8 laps to go. Dave Wright still out in front. Trey Spears up on the high side, getting a push from Joe Wright. You got David Hartney and Eddie Morris out in front of Dave. They are currently on the tail end of the lead lap. Ryan Gomes, Riley Gomes trying to get something rallied here. And Trey Spears going to be out to lunch here. I don't think Joe Wright's really going to try to work with him. You see Joe trying to dip back in line as the Gomes brothers line up there at the tail of the field. We have just 7 laps to go. Eddie Morris pushing on Dave Hartney as hard as he can. Trying to get those two, keep those two out in front. But they don't want to hurt David Wright's chances here at the win, as now Trey Spears side by side trying to get to the door of David Wright to try to side draft him and pull him back. So now everybody's trying to get in line. Joe Wright makes a big move to the outside here. Thought Riley Gomes was going to go up there with him, and Joe all by himself. Now he is currently a lap down. He is the first car 1 lap down, technically in the lucky dog spot. This second group here not making any headway. They've lost ground on the back. They're now 6.5 seconds behind the front group. As Joe Wright is being pushed by Trey Spears. Trey trying to push Joe out in front. Put him onto the lead lap and get him ahead, Trey Spears ahead of David Wright. Four laps to go. And Dave Wright still out in front. You see Joe Wright trying to block that high lane for his brother. There's that second group back there, but doesn't look like they're really making much headway as the interval is still 6.6 seconds. And now these drivers are starting to race as Trey moves Joe Wright out of the way. Here comes Ryan Gomes to the back bumper of that 3. We're going to have a bit of a race here as we come to 3 laps to go. Trey Spears has now cleared the 84. He is up in front. Trying to get this win away from David Wright. Oh, he gets turned. Trey gets turned. Ryan gets involved as well. No caution. We stay green. 2 laps to go. However, just two drivers who can win this race, and they are both have a neon driver in front of them. One's a neon driver, one's a trackside driver. This is about to get interesting. Getting ready to come to the white flag as they come off of turn number 4. Dave Wright giving everything he can to Eddie Morris to try to keep himself out in front of Riley Gomes. Oh, we got a spin on the final lap. Trey Spears is on. Riley Gomes is around. David Wright is going to cruise to the victory, although we've got this battle here for second place. Off of turn number 4. I'm sorry, I was glancing at the chat when that happened. David Wright is going to win and sweep the series openers here. Coming across the line in second is going to be Brian Merle Jr. And Kevin Graham is going to bring it home in third. Let's take a look here to see what happened to the 9. As again, I apologize. I was glancing away at the... looks like... Riley was side drafted on David Hartney. They make contact. Hartney gets down on the apron, comes back into Riley Gomes, and that's what sends them up the track. Of course, the white flag was in the air, so the yellow flag was put away. And that is going to give the win to the 84 of David Wright, who's going to come down to the start-finish line. We'll have our top 3 park it here at on the front here for the ceremonial picture. How about that? A rookie coming home on the podium here tonight at Daytona. D. Wright's going to do himself a little Polish victory lap here, making his way around as we'll take a look at the results. Again, David Wright getting the win. Brian Merle Jr. brings it home in second. Kevin Graham, a rookie, comes home in third. Tim Likens, another rookie, comes home fourth. And Rick Ward rounds out your top 5. Ryan Gomes comes home in 6th. Riley Gomes in 7th. Eddie Morris back in 8th. Trey Spears and Joseph Wright round out your top 10. Matt Allen in 11th. Chuck Balance comes home in 12th. Brett Merle 13th. David Hartney back in the 14th spot. Sylvain Seguin back in 15th. Ryan Likens and Devin Butchno round out the field here tonight at Daytona. You see David Wright making his way around the racetrack. He's going to finish celebrating here, and we'll get ready to talk to our top 3. Get the screenshot all set up here. Getting ready to talk to our top three. Just waiting for that third place driver of Kevin Graham to join the waiting room here. We'll talk to our top three now, starting with your third place finisher, Kevin Graham. Kevin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me? Man, great job for you. I'm doing great. What a run for you here coming home tonight in the first points race here on the podium. Talk us through that race because it seemed like it was a wild one out there tonight. Oh, hang on 1 second. I apologize. I had you muted and it wouldn't unmute. Go ahead and start over again. I apologize for that.
Oh, you're good. It was real tight racing out there tonight. A lot of fun. It's clean. I'll tell you that. That's refreshing. Big shout out to like my teammate though, because without him out there, there's nobody helping anybody. I'm a rookie, so no one really knows how I race. So that's a new thing. And the pits, man, that was crazy. I tried to avoid Joe. I know I hit him. I didn't mean to. Sorry about that, but
overall, just a great race for you. I know you had one team out there tonight. Was there anything you could have done differently there coming to the line that might have put you in a position to get yourself up on the top spot of the podium here tonight?
I tried to push as much as we could at the end. I even asked him to pull out so we could just start pushing. But I realized with like 8 laps left or 7 laps left, we weren't really catching the first lap, the first pack. So that's why I pulled out and tried to just start making moves and maybe move up a little bit just for position. But the crash at the end came into my favor and I ended up in third and it was a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. Well, great job here tonight. Coming home P3. Before I let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to thank my sponsors, MI Tuning and Medicate Yourself out of Norwich, where I live. And, of course, Intensity Motorsports, because without you guys broadcasting, we couldn't do this. You guys put on a great broadcast. So I just want to thank that. And then my team I'm on, Allen Motorsports. So without them helping me do this, makes it a lot easier.
Awesome, man. Well, again, great job here tonight, and good luck tomorrow night in the Cup Series.
I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, boss.
Have a great night.
Bye.
So that was your third place finisher, Kevin Graham. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Brian Merle Jr. Brian, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Oh, yeah, I got you, bud.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to pull you in mid-sentence there, but man, what a run for you here tonight. You guys lost the draft at one point before the caution or the stage there, and able to drive yourself back up here to a podium finish. Talk about that race, what you were doing. I know you guys are only running part-time this season, but making a show in here.
Yeah, it sucks to see my brother win the stage and then get wrecked, and so he was a couple laps down. And when he got to the front, I thought I would just control the outside, and if caution came out, that meant nobody could pass him. And so we tried that for a while, and then people looked like they were getting ready to pit. They did a fake pit. We didn't bite. The next lap, I said, okay, let's just go in now. It seems like everyone's getting ready to go in. Maybe it was 2 laps later. We pit. I think there was 3 or 4 of us. We came out pretty much together. The other ones did not, and I think that really threw the towel in on our race. But I'm going to say that was the weirdest second place finish. How many is this for me, Josh? 37, 38 second place finishes in this league? I am truly always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Unless it's a non-points event, then I'm a superstar. Just a weird race, clean racing pretty much by everybody. A lot of different talents in this. You could see who knows how to side draft, who knows how to push, who doesn't know anything when it comes to super speedway racing. So yeah, I am only racing part-time, but happy to start off with a podium and get to talk to my buddy Josh here, who partially hated me for a few races last season.
Hey, I'm over it, and you know how racing goes. It is what it is. But man, I still love you as a brother, man. It's good to see you out here, and man, it's good to see you and your brother running well here. It was a very entertaining race to watch. I wasn't exactly sure who did end up winning the stage there at the end. It looks like he won it upside down and in the fence.
Yeah, he's not sure what people are thinking. I guess that's stage racing. That's just new people racing with people they never raced with, and I'm really trying to turn over a new leaf and give people benefit of the doubt. But sometimes we got to just be a little smarter than we are, and I make mistakes too. So don't think that I'm saying that I don't make mistakes.
Well, Brian, good to see you. Good to see you up on the podium here tonight. And before I let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I'll thank my girlfriend, my son, Lindsay and Brody, and my brother for working with me all race. And I had a good run with the 14. The 88 worked really good with us, so thanks to those guys. My barbershop, McKinleyville Barbershop, M&M Racing, you for broadcasting, everybody who puts the races on. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight. And I don't know if you're running tomorrow night, but good luck if you are. We'll see you on track.
All right, thanks, bud.
Have a great night.
You too, bud.
So that was your second place finisher, Brian Merle Jr. And let's bring in your winner here tonight, driver of the 84 machine, David Wright. Dave, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, man, just here for my regular weekly segment, Josh.
Yeah, I see that. It's becoming a bit of a habit here. I checked with the stats man with about 20 laps to go, and he told me that no one has ever swept the Clash and the season opener, and you were able to do that this season. How's that feel for you here tonight?
Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody's swept them from the pole as well. I think I did that too, but it feels good. The pole lap, I'm curious if it's a SCSRA track record. I got to check with Dev on that because that seemed really, really fast. But yeah, everything else was cool. I hate to win it being the only car really on the lead lap crossing the finish line there at the end. I would have liked to see it a little bit more clean, but there was a lot of breakups during the pit session and people getting, out and away. And then even at the end of the stage there, where there was a little crash at the line.
Yeah, talk us through some of that racing there, especially early on in the race. It seems like people were really aggressive to start the race, and the aggression kind of just continued. I know a couple drivers, we had a couple incidents, but no cautions. Talk us through what you thought about the race overall and what the strategy was to keep yourself up front.
Josh, 70 laps. I want to say I led 65 of them at least. I mean, most of that stuff I was seeing in my rear view. I had excellent pushers, whether it was, anybody on my team, or Kevin as well was up there. The Gomes were pushing me. So all of that was really, really good. I think it got a little dicey there at the end of the stage. I thought what Joe was going up to win the stage, and I went up for a block, which was clean. I got up there in time. It just shuffled the field up a little bit. And when they got by us, it kind of got 3 wide there and got a little tight. And there was some staggering at the line. People got caught up. So other than that, everything else from my point of view was clean till the end there. There was some net code too coming back around. Hate to have lap cars around you and stuff like that. Would love to just race it out clean, but that's kind of the way the race worked out.
Well, awesome job at getting yourself a win here tonight. I think this is your first points win, if I'm not mistaken. So congrats on that. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I think this one's actually legit, Josh.
And that also locks you into the playoffs. So that's got to be a little monkey off your back too, knowing that you are locked in no matter what.
Yeah, I just got to show up to the races now, right? Make sure I do that, and we should be all right. And hopefully, there's a couple other tracks in here that I got circled. Should be able to get some good showing and hopefully get some stage points to start locking up some of the playoff points.
Well, before you let you go, Dave, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give?
I want to thank you and Intensity. Obviously, I talked about it last week. The relationship, long time. Love watching you. Love having you in the booth. Would love to join you if I wasn't out here winning races. And then obviously Dev Sports Cards, the sponsors of the whole series, as well as Eddie's Morris Customs. Right, really nice paint job. Putting that thing in victory lane. It's 2-0 right now, Eddie. So I don't know if you want to throw that up on the Facebook page. And then all of the teammates, obviously. Really tough night for most of them outside of myself, whether it was on pit road or Dev getting taken out really early from just a bad side draft or a net code gone wrong there and no caution. So, but yeah, other than that, admins, everybody else in the league was awesome. Clean racing for the most part. So appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats. Go celebrate with your team, and good luck tomorrow night. Look forward to being on track with you tomorrow.
Yeah, big group tomorrow night, Josh, starting from the front again. I was just telling Kev I'll probably try to get out of there early because it looks like it's going to be a rowdy bunch compared to last week. So
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats, and good luck tomorrow.
thanks, dude.
Have a great night. That was your winner here tonight. David Wright getting his first official SCSRA points paying win, sweeping both the Clash and the season opener and from the pole. So a little bit of history all through there. So great run tonight. Very excited to see what the rest of the season is going to have here in the SCSRA Intensity Apparel Truck Series. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Tomorrow night's race will be over on the SCSRA web YouTube page, so you can check that out over there. Of course, we've got racing Thursday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night. We got Sunday night starting up this week with the a new league, so that's going to be exciting. That's going to be in every other Sunday league, so that's going to be a great one to tune in for. So if you like good racing, hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. We'll be right back here on Intensity Broadcasting. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Don't forget to check out our great partners, including Intensity Broadcasting, our apparel store over at intensityracing.com. You find a link down below. The Butt Kicker for all your iRacing haptic gaming haptic needs. You can check out The Butt Kicker at thebuttkicker.com. Again, link it down below in the description. Check out Race EPI for your iRacing coaching and setup needs. And of course, Dev Sports Cards, you can check them out as well. They are the series sponsor tomorrow night. And that's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, thank you for joining us. My name is Josh Hall. This is Intensity Broadcasting here on iRacing. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say,